Why is the code window in the wrong place? Code screen, oh code screen. There we go. Okay. This. There we go. All right. So this is just a continuation of the last stream. Because I think I've only got, famous last words, 15 minutes left. Last time that turned into 15 hours. Quite literally. But I mean, all I got to do here, right, is just, let's see. Why does it keep on popping up in the wrong place? It should pop up over here. There you go. I'm just going to have to get rid of that other window. Why did I have it up anyway? Is it for this? That's for that. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm just closing out that other window so it doesn't open up in the wrong place anymore. Okay. So, yeah, we added the license. We added a link to the repo. We moved Cypher to Node.js. We switched to Web Crypto. We reorganized the doc and examples. Switched to AES GCM. And then really, CBC, GCM. And then we have 16 bytes. Whoa, tech support. What's up? Yeah, I was just on for a good 5 hours or about thereabout. And this one just, yeah, this one's just continuing on. I was just gonna change, let's see, 96 bits. Let's see. Need to restore some of the partial data, though tag verification will fail. All right. Always fun to watch someone that doesn't need to depend on an overly complicated NeoVim config like mine. Yeah, I can't do it, man. Too stupid. My brain's too small. Can't do it. I got to keep things as simple and remedial as possible. I think that's the only difference between these two. Okay, so yeah, if I switch to, and this, I don't know if this is a feature or what, but it's definitely, it's not really a factor. It's just, but it's a breaking change for sure. So I got that going for me. Okay, now all that's left here is let's do git stash. Let's do that again. Sure, update devdeps.env. Get stash pop. And then just gonna go with this. Let's see, get stash JSWT init. Was I working on a web hosting business? Vim hasn't been this snappy / responsive for me in a long time. Yeah, but that's why I don't do the complicated config. I can't handle it. I can't do it. It's not for me. I'm telling you, if somebody could recreate Vim Essentials in NeoVim, I would do it. Well, most likely. I mean, I guess the thing that gets me about NeoVim is just that it works on Windows. But the thing that I don't like is that it's all fancy, do you really need 16 million colors in your text editor? I mean, yeah, you can. Sure, but do you need to play video? Do you need like smooth shadow gradient motion in your text editor? Do you need it? Like, okay, no, you don't need it. Does it enhance your productivity in any way? Does it help you to function better at your target task in any way? Does it? So, if you get a bunch of shiny stuff, does it distract you from your job? Hopefully not. But yeah, it's got to be simple. And like I said, we could put a price tag on recreating this in NeoVim, and we probably would be able to get rid of the Vim, like a lot of this stuff we could probably get rid of, or just do in a different way. Like Vim info, that one would be done in a completely different way, because that's all about the Vim info file. I mean, there's not too much here. Vimale, I believe that's built in, right? So you don't need that. I think the essence of Vim Prettier is built in. I'm not sure. So when you look at this stuff, I don't really need a lot. I just need a formatter and I need a linter, and I want to turn on spell and smart case and tabs versus spaces, a few things. I want to be able to add Vim commentary. I don't really use I find Vim GUI to be distracting. Vim Go, Vim Rust. So somebody show me how to do this in NeoVim and I'll get on board. But you can have 120 frame per second smooth animation cursors all day long. I just need to be able to spell check and do some basic linting. Anyway, yeah. So working on the web hosting business, yes. So that's what this is related to. This work on the credit card payments. We are finally. So okay. Ryan's son died, and it was cancer. We knew that was likely, and it kind of started in a way, I think, as the way the three of us were able to come together was in some ways because of that, because Ryan needed something outside of what was going on with that. But when his son died, it was it was a turn of events. And so we just kind of left things where they were at and didn't do anything for a while. Jojo and I have been using it. But now Jojo and I are working on it again. Ryan he's figuring out life priorities still. He's not, right now is not the time for him to re-engage in this project. But that's kind of what happened there. If if the timeline on that had been longer, we probably would have gotten further sooner. But it was, you know, it for pardon my crassness, but it was a ticking time bomb situation. But it was good, you know. It was a good. It was good to work together. Anyway, let's see. I like having inline editor LSP stuff. It comes at such a price. See, I don't like it, and I don't use the AI coding because I mean it. Like I get it. Yes, it can save on some boilerplate, but you still have to go and edit everything anyway. It just seems like I've never seen. Well, I don't watch people use it regularly, but I don't ever see anybody just sit down and use the autocomplete stuff, and it's wrong. Or in the case of just the normal stuff, it's like it blocks your view of the screen. Like you're trying to type and like look at the context, and then it's too busy, too much. All right, I know my way around this stuff, so I don't mind, but I can imagine how intimidating it is for someone that's new to it. Yeah, I mean, Vim Essentials. Vim Essentials is where it's at. If you can do that for NeoVim, let's do it for NeoVim. I would love to get it on there. Okay. What's up, El Cravo? And I'm doing well. And yeah, I mean, it's one of the, yeah, when your friend has a kid die, but I tell you, something crazy is going on. Cause we've had two family friends with their sons. Well, one of them is going to pass any day now. You know, he's not going to make it to June. And they were diagnosed. They were born within a few months of each other. They were diagnosed within a few months of each other. I think one made it to his 5th birthday. The other didn't. So anyway, that's kind of weird to know two families in our circle of friends. And then a third one, literally our adjacent neighbor, like the one there's an empty lot, and then that neighbor, their son was just diagnosed, and something's going on. You can say, oh, we're just better at detecting it. No, I don't think that's true. It's like Parkinson's, right? Parkinson's, it was that what it's called? Was it called Parkinson's? Or was it polio? Polio, not Parkinson's. Polio. Sorry, polio. So polio just comes out of nowhere. It didn't exist. It wasn't a thing. All of a sudden, there's a big outbreak. Everybody's getting polio, and then it turns out that it's the pesticide, the neurotoxin in the pesticide. And they're like, oh, Mom, spray your dishes with the pesticide, spray it in your cupboard, spray it everywhere. If you ever watch the old cartoons like the Tom and Jerry, and they've got that spray, like pss, 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 like push spray, that was pesticide. So people during that era, they were crazy with the pesticide. They sprayed the pesticide on the ponds, the water outside. They sprayed it on the fields, and it was a neurotoxin, and it caused polio. And then they come out with these vaccines. The vaccines aren't working. Then they find out that there's a neurotoxin in the pesticides that they've been putting over literally everything for the last, however many years, half a decade. They stop neurotoxining all of the food, all of the neighborhoods, all of the parks. All suddenly the vaccines are working. It's a miracle cure. We've eradicated polio. So I think it's something like that. Whether the cause is known by the people who are creating it or whether it's not known, there's something that is going on that wasn't going on before. And 20 years from now, maybe we won't be having so much cancer because we'll know what it is that we're doing to ourselves, especially children's cancer. But it seems like, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm just looking at this anecdotally. I don't know what the evidence really says, but it seems like there's something in the environment that is causing people's cells to go cray cray. And, you know, between the processed foods, the Wi-Fi, that, I mean, you can't tell me X-rays cause cancer if you are exposed to them for just, you know, a small amount of time in a high dosage. But constant barrage of electrical signals that didn't exist 100 years ago, from the time you're born to, like, you know, and you've got a flipping microwave in your pocket that's like a literal microwave, as in 2.4 gigahertz, microwave, the wave that is of micro size, you know. So, you know, and maybe it's not that. Maybe it is safe. Maybe it is safe. But I mean, if like the visible light spectrum causes cancer and the X-ray light spectrum causes cancer, and then you know, I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not a healthcare professional. I don't know about that stuff. But something's going on. So you think, all right, that rant over. I think it's more about how I tend to use languages like TypeScript, Haskell, OCaml, where I use type inference heavily. I think if I wrote more vanilla, blah, blah, bare bones editor would be nicer. Well, okay, but I use Go and I use JavaScript, and I use type JavaScript, right? I'm not going to be using untyped JavaScript. I'm not a madman, right? Okay. And I might want to just come up with something for that. All right, and this was cipher.js, and then I gotta go find a project. Let's see. Let's pull from dash. I think I just added the GitHub workflows. Yeah. GitHub workflows node main bump CI lint test. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So yeah, it's all that. All right, so let's go ahead and run what our GitHub workflow is going to be. npm run thumped. No changes. Excellent. npm run CI. Whoops. npm CI, not run CI. npm run lint. One package is looking for funding. Oh. All right, so we're going to have to... Oh, and also, one thing I'm going to have to do before this is change it to GCM. So let me do that real quick. Well, I'll do this and then I'll do that. Okay. Get diff index. Oops. get diff types, index types. Okay, so npm jsconfig. I actually just want cipher.js. All right, module specifier. Oh, it'd help if I spelled cipher correctly. Maybe. Module resolution must be node classic, node next. What? That's weird. Module resolution. Uh-oh. Gotta get that fixed. Node 16. Node. Crap. So now I need to make another one of these and go get clone. Oh, is it that's weird. Huh, that's strange. How would that tin have gotten there? Weird. All right, is jsconfig new? How could the jsconfig file be new and have an out-of-date... Let's see. That's weird. How could it both be new and have that out-of-date line in it? Okay, and I'll check comments in just a second. Okay. Whatever you say, boss. Okay, cannot find... Ah. Then maybe we should just not... show... If show... If show... And then test 1. All right, so npm run test. Okay. I did try going out with LSP for a week. I didn't like it, but I'm going to keep trying to go off it every now and then. Maybe I'll finally have a lighter editor someday. Well, I thought that was the thing with NeoVim is it's like built in, so it's not supposed to be heavy. No, but I have LSP. I use LSP. I'm using LSP. I'm getting all the type hinting. I'm getting all the, I don't have the go-to symbol stuff. And maybe that I'm so fast at quitting Vim and running the letters R and G. It's just like I'm blazing fast at it. I've got to have like an IQ, a finger IQ of over 10,000, over 9,000 for sure. So, I just like pulling Q bam, RG bam, so I only have so much space in my brain for so many commands and so many tools. And I just, yeah, adding another 30 key bindings to figure out all the different ways that I could use the LSP effectively. I'm just going to RG it, man. Just going to RG it. But it's not that I begrudge anybody who has those tools. If you've learned those tools and you've got them down, great. If I had a way to get that stuff installed that wasn't slow, because it's faster for me to quit. This is why I don't use NerdTree. A lot of people use NerdTree and Vim. I tried using NerdTree, but my problem was it's so slow. It's so slow. And then FZF is so slow. And it wants to search node modules. I need simple things. Like, we have .ignore for a reason. Okay? So if ignore is a node module, and this is frustrating, this is just like across the board, right? Windows, Mac, and Linux, .ignore. Any dev tool, okay? Like, before you get your dev tool license to be able to publish dev tools, you need to know about .ignore, and you need to know the glob syntax for it, and you need to make sure that your tool obeys .ignore. Now, granted, I didn't know about .ignore for a very long time. I knew about gitignore. I didn't realize that gitignore was just ignore prefixed with git. I knew about npm ignore. I didn't realize that npm ignore was just ignore prefixed with npm. But .ignore is like the 30-year-old tradition around these things. And the tools have got to get better at that. But, because they don't, people don't, and I understand it, right? And people get massive popularity without obeying .ignore. And grep was made before there was .ignore. That's why grep is so slow. But yeah, I only have so much brain space. But I do honestly, I wish I could use more of that, like go to definition stuff. I wish I knew how to, hit that key. It's just, it gives me a small amount of anxiety learning it. And I'm so good with RG. I am just so good at escape :Q. I can do it in like 13 milliseconds, man. Then add enter, maybe I'm 15, 17, and then RG. But most of the time is then me thinking, okay, what do I need to search for? So anyway, I'm not going to try to tell you to go without LSP. I don't like it. Well, I mean, I do like LSP. I don't like auto. I I like a certain level of autocomplete. I don't like the autocomplete that I see most other people using because it's too it's it's like playing Super Smash Bros. On a 72-inch 4K TV on the Switch with 8 people. There's so much information. I can't play that game anymore. There's too much going on. Like I can't even keep track of which is my character. You know, around the GameCube days, that was where it's at was at its height, and then you know the Wii was okay, but by the Wii U, it was I. It's I, the world's too big. I can't do it. Um, I need that sound button that enemy encounter sound button. I mean, that's not what it sounds like, but that's the best approximation I can do with my voice. Okay, so we're not going to switch this. We're going to put update depths way back up here. Well, let's not do that yet. Can we just do that one? Ooh, we have to go to this one, I think. Woo! There we go. Okay, update. Let's just put that way the heck back here. See if that works out. Hey, it does. All right, switch to web crypto. Reorganize doc and examples. Add config tool and CI. I'd be interested to see what happens if I just move this the heck the way up here. I just want to see what happens. Okay, I lied a little bit. I wanted more than just to see what happens. Okay, so Oh, and I got to change all the references to CBC. Oh, there's going to be a bunch of them. Eh? Yeah. All right. This is going to be... What did I actually do with that? Change the description? Sure. Rename to @root cipher. All right, npm. Let's get rid of this. Ignore. Oh, here's one more that I need to do. We don't have files in here, do we? Files. So files is weird. I guess all we need is, what do we need? Cipher node types. Yeah, I think we're just going to use this. I think that's it. What did I recently change in the package here? Okay, so let's make sure that the everything passes. Oh, whoops. Refactor to use web crypto. And some checks haven't completed yet. Didn't wait for checks to complete. Let's see though. Let's well, we'll find out with this one. You know what, though? Hold on, we're going to do this. Get rebase. Wait, get switch ref GCM. Get rebase main. Oh, no. How'd that go wrong? Oh, okay. I know how that went. Because, in fact... Oh, that's weird. Let's see, npm run test. Oh, there we go. Show and show. There we go. That makes me feel better. I just like seeing that there. More garbage. Oh no. It's a new line. How will we ever survive without a new line? Thank goodness we had a conflict there so we could manually review it. I would hate to think of what would happen if it resolved a new line automatically. Well, you know, to be honest, when it's language independent, that could, you know, Apple's SSL security vulnerability, anyone? Okay. Okay, what? There we go. That's better. Okay, and then I guess we ought to go ahead and say these need to pass. We need to have let me go in here. Because in our branch protections, we absolutely want to require status checks to pass. In particular, node latest. Node latest needs to pass. All right. Oh, and then we also should have the socket security one pass. Yeah, there we go. If you're not using socket security, I'd recommend it. Okay, so this should have been very minimal changes. Oh, and we're going to actually need to find all the instances of CBC and then fix them. And it's not, there's nothing limiting it to 128. So it can be 192, 128, 256-bit. We're just not going to use it for anything at 128 because that doesn't make sense to do anything more than that. Okay, that's fine. Also, well, let me handle that one first. And then I do actually want our tests to be checked as well. So let me go back to this one. And let's say tests, and I probably should have that added anyway. But tests webcrypto.js. run lit. Don't break me now. There we go. Having a good time, having a good time. Don't break for some weird thing. Ah, of course it does. Add param, uint8 array, shared secret, add param, uint8 array, test IV, add param, boolean show. All right. Ugh. All right, and then what I'm going to do is run npm run bump. We're going to put this up to, I think we're just going to take it all the way to 1.0. Major version. I'm doing it. Oh, interesting. That's when I gotta put in my physical key for. Actually, that kind of makes sense. Oh, and I'll see your comment in just a second. I've got another window that popped up over top of it. There we go. I'm a Go dev, and I'm looking for a project to build, but no ideas. Can you help me with this? Yes, I can. Oh my goodness. I can help you with this. I love Linux backend and some TUI stuff. What does TUI mean? What is TUI? Daddy, what is TUI? All right, now let's hope that all of this actually passes. And it does. Great. So git switch main, git rebase mabob, git push. Booyah. And we could make this whole thing work in the browser and all that. In fact, let me do that real quick. Do we have it in -tx? Oh no! But then you got to go back and you got to type everything, and it's gonna. So the problem with making it browser compatible too is once you have to do the IFI and you have to export it twice. The problem is, so I need to generate the type definitions the way that it is now, because what happens is once you put it in the IFI, you can't get any of the type definitions out of it. And that's sucksource. It will know. You can get it. You can kind of get it to know what the type definition is. It just sucksource. All right. Let's just make sure global this, global this, global this, global this. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let me get to those projects. Oh, terminal UI. You know that's just called CLI, right? Or maybe you mean, what's it called? What's the library that everybody uses for all that stuff? I forget the name of it off the top of my head. All right. So, creeds of craftsmanship, issues, and project ideas. Portfolio project ideas right here. No, not charm. The one that everything's been written in since 1997. It's that, everything depends on it. Okay. So, some of these apply as long as you use TinyGo, which means there are some constraints with TinyGo. You can get TinyGo from webinstall.dev. So, TinyGo. Boom. TinyGo. I think I put in here the gotchas. Yeah, so there's the gotchas. So the gotchas with TinyGo is that you can't use anything that uses reflection. So you can't use encoding JSON. You've got to use something else. You can't use Windows syscalls. Well, you can, because the way that the compiler works is it's kind of an all or nothing. And so they put all of the syscalls there, but many of them just say they just fail with not implemented. They're all stubbed out. And you also might need to install brew conflict free so that you can install LLVM conflict free, because you don't want to install brew in the system directory and then have it conflict with LLVM in the system path. But okay, that aside, things the world needs. One that's really, really, really simple would be, let's see, what have I got here? A random string generator, RND. And one that can do some of the weird bases like 58, 62, 32 Crockford, of course, and then maybe some specifiers for some of the other 32s. Be able to specify bit, minimum bit, or regular size. That's my number one simple project that the world needs, and I want to get it up on Webby. And you could compile it with TinyGo. There's no reason that you would need, or that it would require to have the full Go installation, or the not full Go, the full Go runtime. This could be something that is a couple of kilobytes. Let's see, editing a file system as a spreadsheet. That one I think could be a TUI. So yeah, just being able to go down and imagine you could look at, I have a hard time. Okay. I think the description here is good. Rather than drag between multiple windows, one could simply copy and paste a file path to put the file in a folder. Yes. Yes, being able, yes, this right here. This, I don't know if you could do it in a two-way or not, but basically a way. So give me a Vim-like way, okay? Let's say if you're going to do this two-way, it'd be like Vim. So I can do a visual select. I can select a bunch of files. I can hit D to cut them, and then hit P to paste them, and then hit :W :W, and have it update the file system by moving those files into that other place. Well, you don't have to do anything different between Go and TinyGo other than make sure it compiles. So the reason for TinyGo is not for embedded. The reason for TinyGo is because it is obscene, irresponsible, and rude to ship a 6 megabyte binary for a text manipulation utility. That's why TinyGo. Let's see. Personal search engine, Timeline Eyes. I don't know if this is still going or what's going on with it. I don't know. Yeah. A lot of people, we'll see what's happening. I haven't heard anything about it in a while. I think the idea is good, but I think the execution is poor so far. So the idea is great. Here's the idea. Hold on, let me. Okay, here's the idea. You get the data from your phone, like the pictures you took, where you took them, when you took them. I particularly want to know what music was I listening to, stuff like that. And be able to use that data to create other interesting things. And this is Timeline Eyes is, I believe it's written in Go. I don't know if he's accepting contributors. You can follow on Twitter to get an access to the Discord and whatnot. But yeah, there's just kind of a question of is it really gonna work out? A fake, basically a random user.me, but that's based around real people that are publicly known or that's like Harry Potter or Star Wars or something like that. Let's see. Be able to view contributions of GitHub projects. That could be a TUI. Shell check, quick check. That one. Yeah. Basically, yeah, if you're into shell check, then just a way to quickly look at the list of codes and see them. And here's another one. So there are a bunch of shell tools that need to be rewritten. And again, they would need to be written in, not in TinyGo, but they would need to be rewritten in a way that's TinyGo compatible because it's irresponsible and rude to have a 6 megabyte binary for text manipulation utility. And you don't need high speed performance. You don't need an awesome garbage collector. You just need to read a few 10,000 lines from a file and then spit out an answer. But this is kind of an idea of going above and beyond, but we have Unique, we have Calm, we have a couple of others, but just re-implementing those so that you could use them on Windows or, I don't know, people that are on Windows, PowerShell's pretty good, if I'm being honest. Anyway, you already have some cool advanced No. I don't mean Cobra. I mean way before Go. Way before Go. The one that like all the things are written in. But yeah. Which one seems interesting? I wasn't paying attention to which one we're talking about there. Are we talking about the timeline eyes, the personal search engine? We're talking about edit file system as a spreadsheet. UPX, what's UPX? The file explorer one? Yeah. Yeah, because I want to, it's just, it's weird. It's not easy to automate file tasks from the command line or from the GUI. UPX is a packer for executable files. I don't know. Ranger seems like the thing I need. Ranger? I don't know. I don't know what that is either. But there's with the time delay, it's kind of hard to know. Anyway, I need to I need to check that this actually worked. Finish up the last little bit of the project I was working on here, and move along. Okay. See, the terrible thing about this project is it's going to have a terrible score for not having any stars. I'll star it. You can start it if you want to. Let's see what Ranger is. Nice. VI key bindings. Yeah, I'll have to check this out. I'll put a star on it to take a look at it later. Uh-oh, don't crash. What language is this written in? What? No! I mean, I guess crashing can happen in every language, but all right. Anyway, so back to the thing that was at hand here. npm install save at root cipher. And then what was I going to do? The problem that I wanted to solve with cipher, and then I wanted to have, do I have anything in there that's serious? I need to double check that env file. I would have named it .secret if I had anything in there that was serious. So app, no, we're going to do random encryption key, right? On every boot. So when the server starts, let's see, lib routes. Woo! Let cipher equals require at root cipher. Cipher, let cipher equals cipher dot create. And then we're going to do let cipher key equals new uint8 array. Needs to be size 16. I so wish we could just do assignments in blocks. That's something I really believe would be wonderful. We could do, you know, if I could just assign and then return from the block. I don't want to do a full function because it's kind of weird. I just want to be able to, or break from the block, whatever. Okay, so there we are. I've created the cipher. And maybe actually where I need to put this is elsewhere. Maybe I actually need to put this in the... Let's see. I don't know where I need to put it yet. I think I do need to put it in the payment thing. Well, let's see. I don't even know if I can actually use it for the thing I wanted to use it for. Okay. This one is C, so it's really, really fast. That might be good. Incubed. Terminal manager. Incredibly fast. Near zero config. Okay. Well, I'll decide what to work on. Thanks, AJ. Have a great one. Bless you. Bless you too. Peace. Yeah, I got the sneezels. Seems like there should be something that's just a winner. I don't know why there's so many of these things. Okay, anyway. Secret key names. Fingerprinter. Okay, so there's memstore and there's set, pan, token ID. And the problem... Oh, why would I do that? That was silly of me. I don't know why I put the pan there, but dang, that's the kind of stupid thing somebody might do. Okay, so I do kind of like the idea. Do I want it to just be random every time? Because I can have this random cipher. Oops. All right, there we go. So we await that. Oh, we can't await it. Uh-oh. Create placeholder value. Huh, how do we handle that one? Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Huh. I don't know what the solution for that would be. Because we need to return the placeholder, but it may not have the value yet. What do you think about that? Hmm. Yeah, this isn't going to work. Well, not that. Not right there. All right, so forget about the cipher in that context. So maybe with the fingerprint. Okay, maybe we still do this. Let's see. Fingerprint hex. Await cipher.encrypt string fingerprint hex. Not really sure what to do here. But one thing's for sure. If you make things too complicated, if anytime that you're doing something that's too unintuitive, you're just decreasing security. Anytime you're doing something that's unintuitive, you're decreasing security. So whatever I do, it has to become intuitive. It has to be ergonomic. Let's say maybe not intuitive, but ergonomic. Let's try. Okay. Let's call this temp cipher. Oops, not temp crypto. All right, so we got at root cipher. Okay, random values. Yada, yada, yada. Oops. All right. So we've got this module. We share it around a little bit. Then I would need some way of knowing. It's like do nwrap. All right, is TMP encrypted? I don't know if this is going to turn out the way I was hoping. I might give up on this for now and consider it later. There we go. Wait a minute. Okay, so we unwrap that. And this actually had a problem. And that probably shouldn't be called value. It should be called, well, yeah, because all we're going to need dot data, right? Wrapper. I guess technically, yeah, it should be like this, right? There we go. That get wasn't going to work anyway. Okay, so data is always wrapped with the little value bit there. Okay, it's got a little unwrapper. Okay, now let's try this again. npm run start, and then where's that curl? All right, then we need to check. It's probably going to be in routes. Okay. All right, here's what we need to check. So we should be able to get this one time, and we should see that it's undefined there. Holy moly, that's kind of long. But that's our encrypted fingerprint value. And that's our token ID. Then we get it the second time. Oh, something broke. Because we should be getting the same thing again, but instead we're getting something different. Actually, that makes sense. And the reason that makes sense is because if the key changes because it's encrypted, which means it'll be different every time because there's a salt value to it with every cycle of the encryption so that there can't be known plaintext attacks, then it ceases to work as an index. So, all right, that one was a bust. I'm just going to whip that and yeah, that whole rabbit hole down the everywhere may have just been for naught. Yeah. Hmm. I mean, I could pass in a salt value that's always the same. You know, for the session. I mean, okay, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll do this because it's temp cipher. When we encrypt, we will okay, I probably should expose IV size on there then. Yeah, this is where I'm not doing things the right way. And this would be, I think this should be encrypt string, right? Placeholder is a value. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot wrong with this. But let's just take a peek at it. All right, so we do that. Encrypt string. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to get a different token ID every time because the value is different every time the value is being used as a key. That's not going to work out. Also, let's see. Okay, so, but wait, shouldn't the value be decrypted? Hold on. Unwrap. Oh, is Tim encrypted was never set. So we need to go set is Tim encrypted. Then I think it actually will work. Again, this whole thing is a little bit weird, if we're being honest. I'm just playing around with an idea right now. Okay, still not working. Okay, the value is working out. Here. But the value here is changing. Okay, so let me see if I can figure out what that means. Unwrap. Key. Okay, memstore.key. Await value. All right, I'm a little confused then. Because it seems like get and set. Why would the ID be different? If I can get the value out of it. Oh, because it's not unwrapping the value. Maybe. Get fingerprint. All right. Well, there we go. That one was wrong. There we go. Okay, now it's working. All right, so I don't know if this is actually going to work out for what I wanted it to work for, but I believe that we will be using it. We will be using some form of encryption over various things. The one of the concerns that I have right now is, I guess, encrypting the right things. Because we are going to store the fingerprint. We could store the fingerprint encrypted, which, I mean, it's already a hash. If somebody gets, well, it does give us a layer of separation, I suppose. So we could encrypt it. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to encrypt it. But the encryption would have to yield the same result every time. it would not work to do what I'm showing here. No, I mean, I get the... It would work to have the same result every time. It would. Okay. So let's run on that and see what happens. This should still work. The value should still be the same. Unwrap it. Okay, anyway. I'm just going to whip this. I'm going to call it Silly Encryption Demo. I'm going to think on it more and come back around to it. Yeah. We're only going to use the pan once. We're only going to use the fingerprint. We're going to use the fingerprint from time to time. I think I would like the stored version of the fingerprint to be encrypted. And if we use the salt value, which is here, vendor salt, we use the vendor salt as the initialization vector for the fingerprint, then we'll be okay. Because we do want the quote-unquote plain text attack because we want it to match. Because we're not doing encryption in transit, we're doing AES encryption at rest. And for that, this makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to go for now. Thanks for tuning in. Like, sub, follow if you want to. Let the one who guides you. I will catch you later. And I am out. Adios.